All right, here we go. So, film crew and I went for a walk tonight, and we came back and we just kind of stopped off at our little front of the house here, and we found a spot where I planted just a couple of zucchini and squash, and actually a tomato plant just grew. But I wanted to point out a couple things. Number one, we're going to cut the squash, summer squash. But number two, we had just a tiny little bit of space, and we put 2 pots out here, planted some squash, and this is probably the 7th or 8th squash that I'm taking out of here. So it's an amazing crop. It's just easy. We get pretty decent sun out front of the house. There's some trees that cover, but good enough sun to grow. So I'm just going to cut this nice yellow summer squash here. And I let this grow actually a bit too much, but been a little busy. And it grew. This probably got to be about 10 inches long. So I'm just going to cut this off. Probably going to use this in either a squash soup, or possibly I'll just shred this up and freeze it. We'll make like a zucchini squash bread sometime in the winter. So cutting this super easy. This is probably the last thing I'm getting, last fruit I'm getting from this plant here. You can see kind of some of the powdery mildew. But anyway, I'm just going to cut this right off. You know, super easy. Don't overthink it. Just kind of cut right above the stem there. Cut that right off and get that. Look at that. It's amazing. And this is a space that we didn't even think we would use to plant anything, but we did. And again, about 7 or 8 or so of these. It's amazing. You know, film crew doesn't like the squash quite as much as I do, but this is amazing grilled. It's all good. Thanks.